Hello and welcome along to this extremely special event and a true first for MotoGP. My name is Jack Appleyard and I'm thrilled to be joined by my flatmate, Jack Gorse, to bring you this virtual Red Bull Grand Prix of Spain.
Now, we're quite lucky that in our small apartment here in the heart of Barcelona, we have two other MotoGP employees who live with us. So we have to say a massive thank you to Elliot and Sarah for helping us set up this makeshift studio that you see in our living room / kitchen.
Yeah, you can see that behind us. It's not too bad to say that this is our living room. So welcome into our houses and hopefully you're all enjoying what's going to be the next 90 minutes as you stay at home. As I'm sure you're aware, today should have marked round 5 of the MotoGP World Championship in Jerez, a day where the fight for the MotoGP title surely would have kicked into life and would have started. However, we have a different fight on our hands at the moment as the world tries to battle against COVID-19.
And in light of that, over the next 90 minutes or so, we're going to be taking on that fight as we join forces with the official charity of MotoGP and the FIM, Two Wheels for Life. It's quite simple, really. Motorcycles will save lives in Africa due to the work that the Two Wheels for Life do.
You can help us battle COVID-19 and other dangerous diseases across Africa by ensuring that hard-to-reach communities can receive results, education, equipment, and most importantly, prevent the spread of coronavirus.
And the first way that you can help out is, of course, by going to www.twowheelsforlife.org and donate as little or as much as you can, and also to go onto MotoGP's Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube, and you can find more details there.
But equally, this is an event for you as well. Hopefully during these slightly different, slightly dark times, we can put a smile on your face for the next 90 minutes and try and bring some entertainment and give you that feel of MotoGP once again. We've got Moto 3, Moto 2 and MotoGP riders waiting in the wings, ready to go. There may not be any championship points at stake, but there's certainly plenty of pride at stake as well. So sit down, relax, and I hope you're going to enjoy the next 90 minutes of action. We've got 3 races coming your way, 11 riders ready to go. The MotoGP and Moto 2 guys are getting some last minute practice in at the moment. We're going to start with Moto 3. Before we meet the riders for each class, we'll bring you right up to speed with what happened in the 5-minute qualifying sessions earlier on today. Of course, starting with Moto 3, where the final front row spot went the way of our first race winner of 2020, Alberto Arenas, taking 3rd. He'll line up on the front row alongside this man, Leopard Racing's Dennis Foggia, who with his final lap of the session jumped from 4th place to 2nd. The eventual pole man, though, was the number 2 of Gabriel Rodriguez. Rossini Comoli Moto 3 rider was a class above the rest, eventually ending 2/10 clear of Foggia in 2nd place. So here's a full rundown of the grid then for our opening race of the day on the Circuito de Jerez Angel Nieto. And as we said, Rodrigo on pole position, joined on the front row by Dennis Foggia and Alberto Arenas. Row 2, Tony Arbolino, Dennis Onchu and Ralph Fernandez. With row 3, Alonso Lopez, Niccolo Antonelli and Ricardo Rossi. With the final man on the grid, 10th place being Sergio Garcia. There we go then, that's the first qualifying of this virtual Spanish Grand Prix done and dusted, and it's a warm welcome to our first batch of riders as well. The Moto 3 grid have joined us, 10 riders looking to take victory at Jerez. Pole position going the way of Gabriel Rodrigo, and Gabriel, a great start to 2020 for you here at Jerez. Pole position, you look fairly comfortable there as well. How are you finding the new MotoGP 20 game, and what's your confidence like ahead of this race?
Yeah, happy. Really nice game and enjoying the time as we are at home with the guys, with the mates on track, and happy to spend some time like that.
Have you seen the previous MotoGP virtual races? Have you taken any tips from what you've seen there?
I have seen the races, but I didn't speak with them because I also tried MotoGP category. It's very different, so I just did some hours at home. And try to be at the most grid level as I can.
Thank you very much indeed. That's your pole man then for our first race of the afternoon, Gabriel Rodrigo.
And lining up just behind him, Jack, is Dennis Foggia in 2nd place. Dennis, we know that you're always quick in the race, and it looked like in qualifying it was your last lap that gave you that second grid slot. Are you looking forward to the race? Maybe try and pick up a victory?
Yeah, I hope. Happy. I will start in second position, and the game is a little bit difficult, but it's my first online race, and I will try to do my best.
Good luck, Dennis. We look forward to seeing you.
And another man that started life pretty well in 2020 is Albert Arenas, already taken a victory in real terms at Qatar, now looking for a virtual victory here in Jerez. What are the chances of you picking up a second win of 2020, Albert?
Hello, everyone from home. Yes, as my colleague said, it's really, really nice to spend some time here playing with my mates, and not so easy, but anyway, we're having fun, and starting from the third place is a good spot to fight for the victory, but we will see what happens in the race, and let's try to enjoy it.
And Tony, you're fourth place on the grid. Obviously, you're competing with your competitors and some of your friends here in the MotoGP game, but do you reckon that maybe when the lights go out, it's going to be all serious?
Yes, I think when the lights go out, everything is forget about before. But for the moment, yeah, I really like the game, and I really like the physique of the bike, and the setting of the bike. You can manage a bit, so I think it's good, and it's good to spend some time here, and try to do my best in the race now.
Have you had much time to try any different settings with the bike, or is it just as it is?
No, not so many changes, because I just try to prefer to have fun, but just try to put the same bike as a race. So I call my crew chief and say what type of setup we had here in Jerez. So I say no, I'm joking, but anyway, I like this game, and I like to spend some time here.
Looking forward to it then, Tony. Joining you on the second row of the grid is my dark horse pick, is Dennis Onchu. Dennis, welcome along to this virtual Spanish Grand Prix. I've said that you're a dark horse. Are you a bit of an underdog in this race? In qualifying, you were quite aggressive in some places. Are you going to be the man with the elbows and the knees out?
Yeah, the qualifying was a bit up because the three riders is quite fast, Rodrigo, Foggia and Arenas. I tried my best. Actually, I was coming fast in the last lap, but I did the track limits invalid lap, so it's cancelled. Yeah, I will try my best to do podium, and we will see what's going to be in the end of the race.
Raul, sixth place on the grid. It's not a bad qualifying position. We did see you have a small crash in qualifying. Do you reckon maybe if you can cut those mistakes out, you could try to get further up the order in the race?
Yeah. The qualifying was so difficult. At the beginning, I crashed two times, and now in the last lap I canceled my best lap. But now is the race.
Good luck, Raul.
Front in row number 3 of the grid is going to be Alonso Lopez. Alonso, who do you think the favourite for the race win is?
Yes, I like a lot the game, but I am really, really bad. I am very slow in compared to Gabri, Foggia, and Albert, but that's not. It's nice to spend the time with my mates and to have some fun. Is very, very nice.
Well, it looks as though those 3 on the front row of the grid are going to be the favourites for it. Joining him on the second row is going to be Niccolo Antonelli. We'll just let him sort out his camera. There you are, Nico. Nice to see you in portrait mode. Nice and sorted.
Yeah, all sorted now.
Hi everyone. Hi.
Nico, obviously in 8th place on the grid. Maybe if there's a little collision at turn 1, we might see you come out as one of the better off riders after turn 1.
I hope to do a good start and don't crash in turn 1, sincerely. But yes, I'm not really fast. I have to find some second for the race. It's not easy, but for sure I will enjoy. And also I hope the guy at home will enjoy too. And nothing, we will do our best. And
we will see what happens in the race. Maybe many crash, I don't know.
I'm sure there will be, Nicolo.
Of course, the race winner in 2019 was Niccolo Antonelli, so certainly one to keep an eye out on from row number 3 on the grid. Joining him there on the back of row 3, 9th place, is Ricardo Rossi. Ricardo, welcome to this virtual Spanish Grand Prix. How are you feeling? How are you feeling ahead of it?
I'm nervous. I'm quite nervous. The qualifying didn't went so well. When I'm nervous, I crash a lot and I needed to restart every lap. So some of us have some tweaks on their setups. They say no, but they have set up. So
Who?
difficult without.
Who are you pointing the fingers at? Who's got this special setup?
All the first ones. I don't want to point fingers, but I can tell you most of them have setups. But it's okay.
Standard
Settings. At the end, we are here for a charity. 2 wheels for charity, so for life. And we need to remember this. It's important. Let's see how it goes the race.
Of course, of course. Gabri says that you've got some special settings since you're on pole position. Is that true?
Not true.
Fake news.
Everything is close to his chest there. And unfortunately, Sergio, you are in 10th place on the grid. Maybe a few setup tweaks are needed for you as you come into the race.
First, hello everyone. Yeah, my feeling with the bike is not the best, but I will improve for the race, and let's see.
Well, Sergio, we look forward to seeing you. Maybe an extra second a lap when you'll be in with the rest of them.
Fingers crossed. So here we go then, 8 laps ahead of these guys. It's time for the Moto 3 Virtual Spanish Grand Prix, the first of 3 races today. Get yourself set. The action is about to get underway.
Ojo, estirando, eh.
So here we go then. We've moved ourselves, both myself and other Jack, from our kitchen/living room, little TV studio that we've managed to set up there, into our bedrooms in order to do a little bit of commentary for you. Starting with this 8-lap Moto 3 Grand
Corner 1 and corner 2, please no crash. I don't want driving home.
Everybody crash.
So there we go, already Dennis Onchu, just letting everybody know that in corner 1 and corner 2, please can everybody not crash. Unfortunately, Dennis, I don't think that's going to be the case.
No, I don't think it is at all, Jack. It's probably going to be chaos from the off here.
Longer for the split screen. Once again with Ricardo Rossi letting everybody know that he's ready. Dennis Foggia, one of the pre-race favourites, starting from the front row of the grid, has been letting everybody know that he's putting the gears into place, making sure he's got it finally tuned to play a part Honda before we get going. Right, here we go then, Jack. Who's your money on?
Well, I'm going to say he's looked pretty good in qualifying, so I reckon I'm going to go for Dennis Onchu.
Dennis Onchu. I thought you were going to say Dennis Foggia.
No, I'm going to go for a little bit of a wild card pick.
Dennis Onchu, the man to watch in front row number 2 of the grid as Gabriel Rodrigo starts from pole position. The lights go out on this virtual Grand Prix of Spain, and that is one of the worst starts from pole position I've seen in some time. Gabriel Rodrigo goes absolutely backwards. Meanwhile, it's Tony Arbolino that has the lead. There's your pick. Dennis Onchu, Jack, that's gone down, and it looks like it's Raul Fernandez that's going to run away with him. And here comes Dennis Foggia up the inside at turn 2, and it's the Leopard man that takes control of this race from the front row of the grid.
Well, I've got to say, Jack, you thought I was going to say Dennis Foggia, and it looks like he really should have. He's cleared off out the front already. Who's that in second place? Is that Raul Fernandez following him? I think it is.
There's the Red Bull sponsored man on board the KTM, just stalking Dennis Foggia at the moment. There goes Gabriel Rodrigo, trying to make up some lost time. A disastrous start from pole position. He's up the inside of Niccolo Antonelli, and now he's all over the rear wheel of Tony Arbolino as well. He's still with the leaders for the first time down into dry sack corner, and there goes Raul Fernandez up the inside, runs wide though, and allows Foggia to retake control of the race.
I'll tell you what, Jack, just coming back to Gabriel Rodrigo from having an absolute nightmare start. He's already back up into 3rd position. I don't really know how he's done it. As someone goes down there, who was that? That was Tony Arbolino just chasing up Gabriel Rodrigo for 4th place.
Number 14 has gone down, Tony Arbolino, and that means he's going to drop all the way back to 10th place, which is dead last at the moment. Meanwhile, back at the front, there he is, Rocket 71 that he's got as his gamer tag. He's obviously sporting a number 7, is Dennis Foggia. Ralph Fernandez behind him, He's just pulling a little bit of the gap at the moment, is the Italian. You can see the pair of them on your screen there. This is one of the special setups we've got. Foggia and Fernandez, the two leaders. Oh, what's happened here? Lost connection for Foggia. Yeah. Oh, what's happened here? He's gone. Goodness gracious me, what's happening with Dennis Foggia? The leopard man, his Wi-Fi must have gone.
Oh, and he's taking someone else out. Who was that?
That was Albert Arenas in the middle of the track. And Ricardo Rossi that's gone down as well. Oh, they've all been taken out by
Ricardo, how you crashing the straight? I don't understand.
He's run back into the track. His Wi-Fi's gone, and as a result, he's just ghosted his way back into the track and caused absolute carnage.
Well, as you say, Jack, there has to be Wi-Fi problems. I don't know how many times Dennis Foggia's been round Bref, but I'm pretty sure he knows he can't take the last corner flat out.
I think I heard Ricardo Rossi there saying, Dennis, why have you taken me out in the straight? Well, it's not his fault, as you can see there. He's lost connection, lost internet connection, so he's out of the race. He was leading. Poor old Dennis Foggia. Here he is. Let's hear what he's got to say.
Guys.
Yes.
I have a problem with Wi-Fi.
No problem, for me better.
Better. Don't worry.
No problem, mate. That's better.
Hey, no.
Well, I'll tell you what, we picked up on the two Dennises, maybe having a good race at the start, and it's gone absolutely pear-shaped for one of them. So maybe my pick of Dennis Foggia is going to come through.
Oh, well, connection lost again for Dennis Foggia. That's him well and truly out of this one, man. Poor old Dennis Foggia leading the race. I mean, he's had Wi-Fi problems. We've all been there, though.
We have all been there, certainly.
We've all been
I know,
there.
we've had a few problems in this one.
I know. I'm sure he'll be shouting at his mum, Dennis Foggia.
My bag is so slow.
Stop internet shopping or something like that. Probably won't be helping the bandwidth, but there we go. This means that we've got Ralph Fernandez leading the race then, followed by Gabri Rodrigo, the pole man, with Albert Arenas. They're in third place. Your pick, Dennis Onchu, starting to make his way through the field in fourth. With that is Niccolo Antonelli in fifth, Sergio Garcia in sixth, Alonso Lopez seventh, Tony Arbolino eighth, and Ricardo Rossi, after being taken out by Dennis Foggia, down in ninth.
Now, Jack, it's going to be interesting here. See if Gabri Rodrigo can actually catch up with Ralph Fernandez. Just as I say that, Ralph Fernandez has set the fastest lap of the race, but then he's better by Gabri Rodrigo, so maybe he's starting to close that gap up. What is it, 1.3 seconds there?
Yeah, it's come down to 1.2, maybe 1.1 now as well. It looks as though number 2, Gabri Rodrigo, the pole man, is starting to charge through the field. It was an absolutely disastrous start, a nightmare for the Rossini racing man, but he's picked his way back through, up to second place, and he's got his sights set on Ralph Fernandez ahead of him.
Who are you?
Again, Dennis Onchu chirping away. He's not happy at where he is in fourth place at the moment, and he's just trying to talk his way to make someone into making a mistake, trying to get into the heads. I'm not sure it's working so far because he's still there in fourth. Meanwhile, still Ralph Fernandez leading away. We're on lap 3. Hectic 3 laps so far as well.
Io sono caduto perché Foggia laggava.
There's Ricardo Rossi talking again. What was he saying there? I'm not sure if I caught that one.
I think he was just pushing onto the grass, I think. Something along those lines.
Yeah, pushed out wide. That is not a surprise at all.
A little bit rough and tumble. We all did say that it was going to happen in this race.
What we used to on Moto 3 anyway. Never mind whether it's in virtual format or not. This is how Moto 3 riders normally race. If you've never seen a Moto 3 race, then to be perfectly honest, this doesn't have to be virtual. This is what we see in real life.
Pretty much, Jack. I mean, Moto 3 is the chaotic good we all need on a Grand Prix race weekend. And they have to say that the virtual Grand Prix so far has pretty much been the exact same.
Now, here we go. The battle at the front is about to spark into life, I think. 1.1 seconds was the gap last time around. Now, one lap later, it's under half a second. Gabri Rodrigo has well and truly got the claws in here. He's closing in on the rear wheel of Ralph Fernandez. Nearly clips the rear wheel as well there through turn 1. Just about gets away with it, but it looks as though it's a matter of when, not if, Gabri Rodrigo starts to put a move on Ralph Fernandez for the lead of this virtual Grand Prix. Here we go, flicking left. Shortly been flicking right once more for turn number 5. Double apex right-hander, absolutely crucial to get a good run downhill here before we go hard on the brakes into the newly named Pedrosa corner, formerly known as Dry Sack corner. Here's Ricardo Rossi at the back of the pack, 9th place at the moment for the Italian. And it looks as though he's got quite a bit of work ahead of him if he's to close in on 8th place. Tony Arbolino ahead of him. An unfortunate incident with... Oh, and he's gone down again.
Anyway.
For a third time, I think that is Ricardo Rossi hits the deck.
I'll tell you what, the bike did a few cartwheels there. Let's hope he can get back up and on it.
I'm sure we will be able to, but it looks like a monumental effort now. Just to finish 8th, never mind the podium place in Ricardo Rossi. Not times in his virtual Grand Prix. Back at the front, and we'll go full screen mode to focus in on this battle for the lead. Gabri Rodrigo all over the rear wheel of Ralph Fernandez.
Tell you what, Jack, Gabri just has to be careful here. Now he's within that kind of half-second range. It's really easy to get drawn in and make a simple mistake. He doesn't want to go into the back of Ralph Fernandez because there'll be actually commiseration for the pair of them. So he has to be careful here how he approaches this.
There we go. You saw another flash up for another faller. Guess who? Ricardo Rossi once again. His 4th of the race so far. Just struggling to get a hang of this new MotoGP 20 game. Come across the line then. That means there's 5 laps completed of the 8, and it looks as though this battle is going to go right down to the wire. Ralph Fernandez has stood firm so far, not made any mistakes that's even given Gabri Rodrigo a sniff of taking over the lead of this race. But I think if previous virtual races are anything to go by, Jack, he doesn't really need a sniff. He'll be lunging from all sorts of distances to try and take the lead away.
Completely, Jack. I mean, we saw at turn 1 just a couple of laps ago how much he closed in. And Ralph's actually gone wide a little bit here. He's missed the apex coming through onto the back straight. So we'll see if Rodrigo can close up again. And I'll tell you what, Jack, another thing, just notice how
Arenas, which position you?
Now, just as I say that, they kick back into life again. I think that was actually Dennis Onju there.
Surprise, surprise, Dennis Onju tries to get into the minds of everyone else.
If you want to slow down, we can make last lap fight there.
He's talking to Albert Arenas ahead of him.
It's more funny for the next no?
I'm not sure Albert's too keen on the idea so far.
I mean, you saw the chaos that started at the race, you know?
It could happen. Here's the battle for 6th, 7th and 8th then. We're on board with Tony Arbolino. We've got Sergio Garcia ahead of him. There's Ricardo Rossi crashing again. Here comes Arbolino. Make that look fairly easy, but there goes Sergio Garcia fighting straight back under the inside. He's just allowing Alonso Lopez, the Spaniard, ahead of them that you might be able to see just to get away. Arbolino back on the inside again and properly car parks him as well. Gives him the elbow and the knee as well to make sure that he could make his way through into 7th place. Back with the leaders then, and it's as it was. Ralph Fernandez leading the way, the laps ticking by, but Gabri Rodrigo still sticking with him. The gap remaining at about half a second. He's not really been able to glue himself onto the rear wheel of the KTM ahead of Rodrigo so far, but he's definitely matching the pace of Fernandez ahead of him.
Well, as you say, Jack, if he just stays there, one mistake from Ralph Fernandez, it will be Gabri Rodrigo's for the taking. So we'll just have to see how it plays out in his last 2.5 laps.
Fernandez, of course, looking for a debut Moto3 victory, as is Gabri Rodrigo as well. The pair of them yet to taste victory in the Moto3 class in their Grand Prix careers. I'm not sure if this virtual one would count. As there goes Sergio Garcia crashing out. He's looking comfortable in 8th place, sorry, having had that battle. But here comes Rodrigo. He's as close as he's been here on the run into Pedrosa corner. He's got the inside line, and the pair touches and he takes him out. Goodness gracious me, that is controversial. Gabri Rodrigo up the inside of Ralph Fernandez, and he takes him out. Poor old Ralph Fernandez knew absolutely nothing about it, and as a result, he's been demoted to 3rd place now.
I tell you what, yeah, as you say, demoted to 3rd place, and it's that man that we haven't even mentioned in this race so far. He is, of course, a championship leader in real life, Albert Arenas. So he snuck through somehow under the wraps. He's through up into 2nd place.
Quietly going about his business is Albert Arenas. One man not being quiet about his business. He's Gabri Rodrigo. Fairly aggressive move. We say we're used to this in Moto3, but I don't think in those sort of terms.
Certainly not, and as we see on screen now, we've got a 3-rider battle here. What position is that? Is that 5th place? Is that Nico Antonelli at the head of this pack?
It is, yeah. This is a battle for 5th place. Antonelli, Alonso Lopez and Tony Arbolino at the back of this battle, but so Alonso Lopez just a little bit wide there, but he's managed to keep himself clear as
Of course, we can't forget Jack Antonelli was the winner of this race in real life last year with that famous victory.
He has got form around. Angel Nieto. Top 5 finish wouldn't be too bad as well on his virtual debut. Back at the front, let's just have a look at the times. It looks as though Rodrigo is away with it now after that move on Ralph Fernandez. Here's Arbolino, that's brave if he wants to try and go around the outside of Alonso Lopez. Turn number 1, and unsurprisingly wasn't able to pull it off. As we said, Rodrigo away with it at the front. Here's the battle for second place now. The Reynas, who's got the run on Ralph Fernandez, who's just trying to get himself back together, find a rhythm again after being torpedoed. There's no other way of pulling it by Gabriel Rodrigo.
Oh, there's some suspicious lines there from Tony Arbolino. I wonder if he's going to try and get the cut back. Well, not quite, actually just runs into the back of him there instead. If you can't go around him, just go through him. He's going to get a chance to try and make a move here. Into Pedrosa corner, turn number 6. Here he comes, Tony Arbolino up the inside. Both of them hard on the brakes, both of them run wide, and it looks as though Lopez is just about going to hang on around the outsiders, then flick left, and then come together again. And it is Lopez that comes out on top in that battle. Arbolino just having to settle for 7th as things stand, but the laps are running out. All this is doing is just allowing Antonelli to break away in 5th, try to secure that top 5 finish.
Quanti giri mancano?
49.
Still at the back of the pack, surprisingly, after he's 6, 7, 8 crashes that he's had. Just asking people what lap times are doing. Oh, that's a mistake from Antonelli, and he's taken both of them out. Alonso Lopez saw a gap, he went for it, he's took the front. I don't think he took out Nico Antonelli in the end. Somehow the Italian managed to stay on both wheels as he went through the gravel trap. But one thing's for certain, Lopez crashed out, Antonelli's gone through the gravel trap, and Tony Arbolino has been gifted a top 5 finish as we're on to the final lap here in Jerez.
Tell you what, Jack, I think that Ralph Fernandez is going to put in a late charge to try and catch up with Reynas for 2nd place. I don't know if he's going to be able to do it, because Reynas has been pretty quick in his last few laps.
Here's the race leader, and Gabriel Rodrigo. 4.5 seconds, is that? Yeah, it is. Quite a comfortable advantage, you could say, for the Grissini man. And, well, as we're on to the last half of the lap, all he needs to do is keep it mistake-free, and he'll be able to get away with it. Meanwhile, there's Dennis Foggia, controller in hand, just thinking what could have been. Remember, he was leading the race before his Wi-Fi cut out, and he was, well, thrown out of the lobby, and unfortunately will pick up 10th place as a did not finish.
Yeah, you've got to feel sorry for him there. He sat looking quite a little bit bored watching this race. I'm sure he's thinking of what could have been.
Here's the leader then, Gabriel Rodrigo, into the final sector on this final lap in the opening race of this Red Bull Virtual Grand Prix of Spain here from Jerez. He's never tasted victory in a Moto 3 class before. It's Gabriel Rodrigo, only ever been on the podium on 1 occasion. But this looks like it could be a 2nd trip, this time to a virtual podium, but more importantly, it's a victory in the Moto 3 class. It doesn't matter how they come, he'll be taking this one. A first race winner's trophy for the Argentinian. Gabriel Rodrigo into the final corner here at Jerez. He exited perfectly. He is going to be your first winner of the day here in Jerez. Take him down to number 2, Gabriel Rodrigo wins the virtual Grand Prix of Spain in the Moto 3 class. Joined on the podium by the race winner in Qatar, Alberto Reynas, and a rather despondent Ralph Fernandez after being taken out of the lead by Rodrigo with just a handful of laps. Dennis Onchu takes 4th. Tony Arbolino was gifted 5th place, but will take it from the Italian, comes across the line just ahead of Antonelli. Alonso Lopez, having crashed out during that battle with Antonelli, will take 7th, and it looks as though it's going to be Sergio Garcia in 8th and Ricardo Rossi in 9th. What a way to kick off proceedings for this Red Bull Virtual Grand Prix in Spain. We've got Moto 2 and Moto GP to come, more of the same.
Position penalty, Fernandez.
Dennis Onchu there, wanting a 1-position penalty for Fernandez.
I think it was, Jack.
Got 4, I'm sure Fernandez will be screaming at our race director, Xavi, asking for a 1-position penalty for Gabriel Rodrigo. There are no penalties, though, in terms of positions, a couple of time penalties, but it's not going to affect the order. Gabriel Rodrigo takes the first win of the day. Let's go hear what they've got to say. So there we go then, guys. That is the first race of the afternoon done and dusted, and unfortunately there's only one place to start. Heartbreak for Dennis Foggia. Dennis, what happened? You were leading the race, it looks like you were going to win. Did you have some technical problems?
When I was first, the problem with Wi-Fi, now I changed the room.
Too late now, it's too late. You could have won the race.
Incredible.
Can't believe it, a DNF in the race. Who'd have thought?
They are lucky.
Dennis is coming back. If we have another virtual Grand Prix, Dennis is going to be here. He's going to get his Wi-Fi sorted. Once he gets that fibre optic broadband, he's going to be flying.
Yeah, we're not going to see which way he went, Jack. And I think a few other people are lucky as well. Dennis, you're also calling out a few people, asking Albert Arenas to slow down for a last lap battle. And then even then you were asking Raul Fernandez to overtake Arenas on the last lap. Were you trying to orchestrate some chaos or something?
Yeah, actually, I did a great start. The first corner, I crashed. I touched with Arborino, I think, I'm not sure. And I gone gravel. So I get to the last position, but then I catch every lap the front riders. Then I came to P4. And then until last lap, I saw Arenas was alone in the front, and in front of him was Fernandez. Then he crashed, and they was together. And I wanted them fight and crash each other, no? And then I asked them to be in the podium, maybe second or maybe third. Actually, I wished to fight these two riders, but they was clever and they didn't fight, and they didn't crash as well. So, okay, I did a crash in the first lap, and then I finished fourth. Actually, I'm quite happy. Yeah.
Well, Dennis Andrew there doing everything he can to try and get a podium, but not quite enough.
So on to the podium places then. Third place was Raul Fernandez. Raul, we need to talk about that move from Gabri up the inside. What happened? What happened?
Oh, I don't know. It's a very enjoy. the race was good, but I have a lot of nervous. I don't know why. More nervous than when we have a normal race. And wow, the fighting with Gabri was a very 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 enjoy. But now I am on the podium, but this is the race, no? This is like this.
Will you be going to race direction after that move from Gabri? Will you be asking for a penalty?
Yeah, he need 5.5 second of penalty. I am 5.4 now. If you put 5.5, he end later than me.
See what we can do.
And Fernandez needs 3.5 seconds penalty.
Why?
Because track limits, mate. Look, only three riders no make penalty. Me, Arenas, and Alonso. The rest all penalty.
No, this is for the grass. This is for the grass. I have penalty for the grass.
I mean, you have to start the race for me, no?
No.
I think penalties aside, guys, Albert Arenas, you were second. 2020 started pretty well for you. A first place and now a second place in the virtual Grand Prix of Spain. You must be pretty happy.
Yeah, happy. First of all, as not a very good start, going from the last position, trying to recover. At the end, I was waiting for Gabri and Fernandez to make any mistake and join them to the fight till the end, but was not possible. And happy about finish the race. And also when the rocket goes to the space, asked to race because he was really strong. We will see the next race what happened with him, and we will try to improve a little bit more, And also I hope everyone enjoyed the race. I was really focused and was a good training, I think.
Yeah, thank you very much, Albert. You talked about a poor start. Well, the man who started from pole position, Gabri Rodrigo, you had a terrible start. What happened from pole position?
Yeah, was happy about the race and also was really fun. But I trained a lot practice starts because I was disaster. And today, I don't know why, but didn't work out, and I was like almost last one. but then I needed to clean a bit the track. First I started with Arbolino, then with Fernandez. No, but funny race and happy to finish first. But the most important thing is that we had fun, and we hope that also the people had some fun.
Yeah, I'm sure they did. I'm sure they did. It helped putting smiles on people's faces when you make moves like you did up the inside of Raul Fernandez. Do you think you would have got away with that in real life?
I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe similar, but not same.
I'm sure we could have seen maybe a couple of long lap penalties handed out for something like that. He's got away with it anyway. He's our first virtual race victor of the day, the Moto 3 win, going the way of Gabriel Rodrigo. Congratulations to him, and thank you to all of the Moto 3 guys for joining us. Well, let's have a look at some of the highlights now from that hectic Moto 3 race. But don't go anywhere, because up next, it's time for Moto 2. Moto 2 qualifying, it was Bo Benschneider that took the final place on the front row of the grid. The Dutchman jumped up to third in just over a minute of the 5-minute session remaining. Second place, well, that went the way of this man, Luca Marini aboard the Sky Racing Team VR46 Calet, just finishing shy of your eventual pole sitter, this man, Lorenzo Baldassarri. The Italian jumped to top spot with a minute left on the timesheet. He only took pole by the narrowest of margins, though, ahead of Luca Marini. The front four separated by absolutely nothing, meaning grim for quite the Moto 2. Here's the full grid then, with Baldassarri on pole ahead of Marini and Benschneider. Row 2, Marcel Schrotter, Jorge Martin and Aaron Canet. With row 3, Jake Dixon, Jorge Navarro and Marcos Ramirez, with Enea Bastianini, the final man on the grid. There we go then, that's exactly how the Moto 2 guys are going to line up for this virtual Grand Prix of Spain. And just like in 2019, started the year pretty well then, and it looks as though we're starting 2020 pretty good as well. Second place in the opening Grand Prix of the year in Qatar. Now it looks as though Lorenzo Baldassarri is going to be challenging for a virtual race win as well. We'll start with him, Lorenzo. Congratulations. First pole position of 2020. It looks as though you've got a little bit of an edge on everybody else. Are you fairly handy with the PlayStation, as it seems?
Yes, I'm feeling good, and finally this pole position arrived, and I hope for a nice race. I will try all my best. Thanks to the support of everybody, and I want to remember 2 wheels for rider, right?
Yeah, 2 wheels for life. That's who we're all here for.
2 wheels for life, and let's see what happens in the race.
Yeah, I'm sure the race is going to be interesting. One bit of advice from watching the MotoGP guys, Lorenzo, is you might be on pole position, but just watch out in the first couple of corners. So I'm sure there's going to be a few guys from behind looking for a few dive bombs.
Yeah, I remember the first
stay out of the way.
Mugello.
That also goes for second place on the grid, Luca Marini. You look pretty fast there, just quietly going about your business, setting some fast laps. Do you reckon maybe you can try sneak a win in here today?
Well, I think it was a very interesting qualifying. I think also the race will be great. Everybody is very close and looks like close to the reality. So this is nice. We are everybody a lot of very excited. And I want to thank the team for the good work in this weekend. Now we try for the race.
Yeah, always got to thank the mechanics, putting the shift in.
Luca, just a quick one as well. Can you explain to us your gamer tag as well? Is it Cesar Rooney 97? Are you a big fan of Wayne Rooney? How's that?
Well, necessarily this nickname is from when I was a child. It's a long story.
Okay.
And I only keep this in these years because before you couldn't change your name of the PSN account. Now you can choose, but I keep this.
You'll stick with it, On to the final man on the front row of the grid, which is Dutchman Bo Schneider. Congratulations, Bo, up onto the front row of the grid. Confident that a race victory could be the debut Grand Prix race victory for you?
Yeah, finally the first row with the NTS. So feels great, but we have to see the race because for sure some guys will take a lot.
Which guys?
I can say only one name, Jake Dixon.
And heading up the second row of the grid, Marcel Schrotter. Marcel, I presume you're looking to try and get a good start and maybe just get away from the reaches of Jake coming behind you. Maybe he might try to dive bomb you as well as Bo.
Yeah, I think probably he's the most dangerous in the whole game. But hey, it's a game. Let's have fun. I think it's a great idea to make this event now even for us in Moto 2. So thanks for everyone that made this possible. And yeah, let's have fun. Let's see who can stay on the bike. I think it's a better question. Who don't crash as much as the other ones?
Well, we saw quite a few crashes in that qualifying. So yeah, I imagine that one's going to ring true in the race as well.
On to the man in the middle of the second row of the grid, Jorge Martin. Jorge, have you seen any of the MotoGP virtual races? Have you taken any tips from those guys?
Yeah, I did. And, you know, I spoke also with Maverick and he told me that his time, so I was a bit amazed. But yeah, I think we can do a great race. Everything is so close. I'm a bit nervous about the first corner and also corner number 6. But after that, if I'm still on the bike, I will try my best and to finish the race.
Best of luck, Jorge.
And Aaron, you're on the back of the second row there, just in 6th place. We know you've done quite a few laps around Jerez on the Moto2 bike in real life, but have you managed to get any practice in prior coming into the virtual Grand Prix?
We will see what happens in that race. It's my second race of the year. I'm a rookie and I will try to give my best.
We can hope for.
Right, let's speak to the man himself then. You can try and defend these accusations. You're going to be the man to take everybody out at the opening corner.
Call me Torpedo Ted. I'm coming for you.
Is that the tactics going in then?
I don't know why everyone thinks I'm going to take them out. I'm worried about everybody else.
We've seen you practicing on your Instagram stories quite a bit. Have you got a little bit of an advantage on MotoGP 20 or using some experience from the old game as well?
I only downloaded it 5 minutes ago, so yeah, so it's doing not so bad.
The excuses are in nice and early. I'm not sure if I believe him.
And Jorge, by the sounds of it, you're probably in the best grid position at the minute, just behind Jake. So maybe when the front 7 all collide with each other, you can come out turn 1 in the lead.
Yeah, for sure. It was a matter of strategy, no? I was with that behind him because he will open the way for me. And after this, I hope I can make a good pace because also in the qualifying, I didn't reach to make the good lap. And at the end, just to have fun and make the people enjoy the race.
Of course, of course.
And final spot on the third row of the grid, Marcos Ramirez. Marcos, how excited are you for this? Do you think you've got a chance of staying with the front guys?
For sure, no. I am 3.5 from the first, so it's very difficult. And we will see what happens. I hope a lot of riders crash for being in front.
And Anaya, you line up on the back row of the grid, unfortunately. But was there maybe some setup issues there, or was it just that you didn't get a clean lap?
My race is really difficult because I can do only top 10. And we will see. And the first corner is so important to recover the gap.
we will see the race.
Well, good luck to you, and they're going to have to get a lightning start from there.
Yeah, good luck to every single one of you. The grid's been set then, 10 Moto2 riders ready to go to war here at the Circuito de Jerez Ángel Nieto. 8 laps ahead of them. And in case you're wondering, I would probably keep an eye on the Petronas Sprinter racing bike on row number 3. Let's see how they get on. Time for our second race of the day. Then time for the intermediate class to step into the spotlight. Moto2 riders ready to go. 8 laps once again ahead of these guys. Lorenzo Baldassarri starting from the hole. Joined in the front row by his compatriot Luca Marini.
Está ya.
And once again, they're
I'll put the mediums
away,
in.
talking with Jake Dixon there, as you might have been able to hear, just letting everyone know that he's got the mediums on. For 8 laps, really? Have they gone for the softs?
Well, we'll have to see if it pay off. We'll need to be a little bit more aggressive.
I don't think we need to give Jake a second invitation.
That's very true. Starting, where is he? Is he on the second row? Third row, actually, heading up the far row. He's probably going to come through from there, so keep eyes peeled on the number 9.
Yeah, he's been pinpointed by everybody else, hasn't he? So that's what counts on. Meanwhile, let's watch the lights here. Baldassarri from pole position. Can he get a better start than Gabby Rodrigo in the Moto3 class? Yes, he can. It's not going to be the whole shot, though, because that's a dynamite start. Marini from second on the grid. He will take the whole shot as he looks to try and run through the outside. How many have gone down there? Marcel Strotten's one of them. It looks as though at least 5 of them have gone down into the first corner. Meanwhile, Marini and Baldassarri are at it again. Aaron Cannock's out to the seat there after contact with Jorge Martin, and that leaves 3 of them. Marini and Baldassarri will continue to fare in bash. And Jake Dixon has somehow stayed on and he's there in third.
Sorry, I'm not really sure how he's done that. There was absolute carnage at the start, and he's come all the way through from 7th to 3rd. And so, if he's not like this, right, these two are going to take each other out and be in the lead.
This is bumper cars, not Moto2 racing. Look at the pair of them going down the hill in towards turn number 6. Balda's hardest on the brakes and he's going to look to hold it around the outside. But there goes Marini back on the inside. Again, they come together. They're just constantly falling off of each other. We're into the second half of the lap now, and Baldassarri that's taken over at the front. There goes Marini again, looking up the inside, and he's down. Marini crashes out, and somehow he doesn't take Baldassarri with them. So that now leaves 2 on this first lap. Baldassarri and Dixon, and there he goes. Jake straight up the inside on the grass and completely takes out Baldassarri.
Well, I'll tell you what, we called it. He said he was going to come through the lead if these two took each other out, and he's actually barged his way into it.
Somehow Balda stayed on. He stayed there in second place and not crashed out. But it's Jake Dixon that leads a Moto2 race for the first time in his career.
Bastianini goes down again. We've seen Jake get really excitable in the lead up to this. We saw in qualifying earlier on today that he was actually really excited about it and all that sort of stuff. But now look at him, absolute game face. There's no emotion in that face. He's just purely concentrated.
A face of focus from Jake Dixon, and he's looking to try to pull away from Baldassarri. But as we know from qualifying, it looks as though the Italian has got the pace on the Brit, and he's already closed in onto the rear wheel of the Petronas Sprinter racing machine, despite getting, well, he even called himself, was it Torpedo Ted, and he completely put that to good use.
Well, Jake's a little bit wide there. Do you reckon there's some nerves starting to creep in?
Oh, Balda runs into the back of him at the first opportunity, but then makes his move at the second chance. Back at the front now is Lorenzo Baldassarri. Bit of a slide from the number 96 of Jake Dixon as they come down the back straight here at Jerez. Is there a chance for him to try and get back up the inside again? Here he comes. He moves to the outside though, and he can see the rear wheel popping into the air. That is one of the big changes in this MotoGP 20 game. The physics and the braking mean that the rear wheel will want to pop up at any and every opportunity.
It certainly does, and it makes it a lot harder for these guys to be consistent lap after lap, and it's why we're seeing so much chaos and a lot of crashes. I think we've already seen Bastianini go down a handful of times, because Marcel Schrotter now crashes out.
Again, he's another one of the men that have had a couple of tumbles so far. Dixon just trying to stay with Baldassarri though, but you can see Dixon is a little bit wider and a little bit looser through these fast-flowing right-handers than Baldassarri is. Let's have a further look down the order. There's Aaron Cannock. He has crashed out at least once, as has everybody actually from 3rd place downwards, but he's managed to hold on to 3rd place at the moment as the rookie in the Moto2 class. He's got Luca Marini behind him for company, and the Dutchman Bo Benschneider as well. He's just going under the radar. Is Bo Benschneider on the NTS machine? Qualified on the front row of the grid, but he's just quietly going about his business there in 5th at the moment.
You just saw it there, pop on your screen. About to attack on the fastest lap of the race, and he is on full attack as he's trying to pull away from Jake. We saw a couple of mistakes from Jake. Maybe we'll see if he can regroup and cling on to the back of it.
You can see Canet across the grass there once again, and then inside of the curb. Once more. And he's on the grass again there. It's Aaron.
Not the line he wants.
Just saying there, he nearly crashed. We can see that, Aaron. Goodness gracious me, that's as close as you want to get. And then he just nudges Luca Marini out of the way to retake that final podium place. And there's Benschneider getting in on the act as well. Poor old Luca Marini has been banged from pillar to post throughout the start of this race. Finally got it out, and then the three of them, that's not going to go into one. Aaron Canet loses out. He's been taken out. Both Benschneider, Luca Marini and Aaron Canet. 3 will never go into 1, and unfortunately Aaron Canet's the man to lose out, as is Marini as well. It's Benschneider that's somehow come out on top in that fight for the final podium place.
Now back to the front. Lorenzo Baldassarri, he's just got about a 1 second gap on Jake. Might be comfortable enough for him, but we'll have to see if he can relinquish from the pressure and see if he can maintain the lead without making those mistakes.
Pulled clear at Dixon now, hasn't he? Over a second clear already. He's definitely got the pace to win this one as Baldassarri. It looked as though, well, as we saw from qualifying, Marini was going to be the man that was going to get closest to them. The pair could hardly be separated from their fastest laps, but after that coming together on lap 1, it's allowed Baldassarri to break clear at the front of the race, and it's pretty simple now. If he can keep it upright, it looks as though it's going to be a race win for Baldassarri if his pace is anything to go by. Jake Dixon sticking in there. I'm sure they'll be hoping for a mistake that he can try and pounce upon.
It certainly is, and he's going to need one. 2 fastest laps in a row for Baldassarri now. He's really got the hammer down.
Here's Benschneider and the Dutchman, as well as Jake Dixon, also looking for a debut Moto 2 podium, but he's got Marini for company. Marini at the moment just half a second adrift of the NTS. And he's wide there, is Marini, but just about holds on. This Moto 2 class, it looks as though he can run the curbs in a couple of areas. We've seen in MotoGP in virtual races 1 and 2 that touching the curbs is an absolute no-go. If you touch them, you'll get spat over the top, but possibly in this new game, but also in the Moto 2 class, you're just getting a little bit more room for manoeuvrement on the curbs. You can run a little bit wide and just touch them if needs be.
Looking just at the pack here, Jack, there's all these intervals between from about Benschneider in 3rd all the way down to, who's that in 8th place?
Jorge Martin.
Jorge Martin down 9th place. There's only a couple of seconds in between each rider there. If there's one mistake from any of them, all this is going to close up.
It certainly is. It's not as well spaced out as we've seen it before. You can see 4 riders in shot there from 3rd place that we're focusing on. In Bo Benschneider, you've then got Luca Marini, Jorge Navarro and Aaron Canet all in the same shot. You can see the back of the picture. That's Navarro making his way through. Back at the front though, still Baldassarri that leads. That gap over 2 seconds now. Meanwhile, here's the fight for 7th place, with Jorge Martin slipping up the inside of Marcel Schrotter to move a place higher up, and you can see in front of him 2 little specks. One of them is Aaron Canet right there, but he's got Marcel Schrotter to try and deal with first, because the German is fighting back as they go into turn number 1. Only Martin cannot allow himself to concentrate on closing in on 6th or even 5th place yet, because he's got Schrotter to deal with, and the pair of them are going right at it, toe to toe. Schrotter nearly spat over the top there. You can see he was on the grass, but somehow held on to it.
They're getting a little bit brave, these guys, aren't they? They're starting to bash fairings, bash elbows, all the rest of it. Look at him sliding it all the way around onto the back straight. Absolutely brilliant.
Man with a big smile on his face there. He's happy with that one, getting it sideways through turn 5. Hard on the brakes into turn 6 then, and it looks as though he's got a little bit of a gap now over Schrotter. Total concentration coming away from Marcel Schrotter, the German, completely unfazed by the action that he's having with Jorge Martin. His 2nd placed man, Jake Dixon, over 2 seconds adrift of Lorenzo Baldassarri now, who's just bit by bit moving further away of the Brit and bit by bit closing in on another race win. We were speaking about Nico Antonelli being the race winner at Jerez this time last year. Well, Lorenzo Baldassarri was another man. Took his 2nd win of the year, 3rd win of the year, sorry. at Jerez this time last year.
An absolutely rocket ship start to the 2019 season. And of course, this was the race where we saw at the start there was drama, massive drama with the eventual champion last year, Alex Marquez.
Coming together with Remy Gardner after he had that big high side drama that was pretty similar to what we saw in the opening lap here in the virtual Grand Prix of Spain.
Not too far different, yeah.
Here we go then, there's another battle. Navarro just got to deal with Aaron Canet with the speed up man looking to roll around the outside of his fellow speed up man. It's Gaspar's Aaron Canet versus, well, what sponsorship have they got on it this time around? It looks as though it's, is that Beta Tools? That's what he's got the Ego Plus.
Speed up, yep, that would be Jorge Navarro. Obviously just trying to beat him. Obviously Navarro in the factory speed up team, so Canet, especially being a rookie, is going to be nice to down the outside on the straight down, breaking down into turn 6. I think he might just get the move done. If it doesn't go wide, Navarro's made it. Oh, and they've both gone down. He's lost the rear coming out of turn 6.
Navarro out of it then. He luckily doesn't take out Aaron Canet as well. It's nice to see that the pair of them see the funny side of it. Jorge Navarro, it's unfortunately, and we'll let him off, It must be difficult being a factory speed-up rider. He's got the orange shirt on, and unfortunately he's riding the pink bike. So he's got the Ego Plus sponsorship on the side of the bike here in the virtual Grand Prix, but he's got the Beta Tools orange shirt on. So he's unfortunately not matched, but we'll let him off. Meanwhile, back at the front, laps ticking away now, and it's still Baldassarri yet to make a mistake. Is Balder. He's 2.5 seconds clear of Jake Dixon behind, who actually could be coming under a little bit of threat from Bo Benschneider. That gap's under 2 seconds now, 1.9, 1.8 it seems to be going about. Balder's away with him, it's 3 seconds up the road now, so it looks as though the fight for the lead is done and dusted. Lorenzo Baldassarri with 1.5 laps remaining. If he can keep it with 2 wheels to the ground, he's going to be the race victor here, but there could well be a fight on our hands for second place with Jake Dixon possibly falling into the clutches of Bo Benschneider behind him. We're on board now with the Brit Jake Dixon. And we flick back to the front with Lorenzo Baldassarri, showing us exactly how it's done on the Moto 2 machine in virtual form. He's got it down to a T so far. The only man, apart from Jake Dixon, not to have a crash. Pole position as well. He won't have fastest lap, or he may well do on the final lap, but it flashed up there that Jorge Martin has just taken the fastest lap of the race. He's back to the 6th place, Marcel Schrotter trying to get up the inside of Aaron Canet, but he's too hard on the brakes. High and wide, but it'll help the fact that Aaron Canet's on the grass on the inside. It allows him to close back in onto the rear wheel. Make a move through the second of these left-handers here. No, he's just not close enough at the moment. We've already seen Jake Dixon absolutely launch it up the inside before they flick right here on Lorenzo Baldassarri. Can Schrotter do the same? Looking off the rear wheel of Aaron Canet, no way through so far. A little bit of a twitch from Canet before they go right once more, but still no way through for Marcel Schrotter in his fight for 6th place.
There's a lot of little mistakes there from Aaron Canet in just that little sequence of corners we saw. Obviously starting to feel the pressure from Marcel, and as we saw Marcel earlier making that move to turn 1, he's not afraid to just bully his way past to get through on the young rookie. Now last lap for Baldassarri. Been absolutely superior performance for him, hasn't it really, Jack? He hasn't really looked troubled out front. Obviously he escaped all the drama at the start, had a little bit of fairing bashing, but since then it's been pretty smooth sailing.
Yeah, held his nerve on that opening lap with both Marini and Dixon throwing absolutely everything that they had at Balder, but he stood firm, he held it off, and it looks as though it's going to be the second win of the day, going the way of the Italian Lorenzo Baldassarri. Jake Dixon still 2 seconds clear of Bo Benschneider, so it looks as though Dixon has just got his rhythm back together and been able to maintain that gap to the Dutchman behind him, and it looks as if it's going to be a debut podium for Jake Dixon in 2nd place aboard the Petronas Sprinter racing machine, and a debut podium, don't forget as well, for Bo Benschneider. The Dutchman is going to be jumping onto an intermediate class podium for the first time aboard the NTS.
Now I've just been keeping focus on that gap between Marcel Schrotter and Aaron Canet. It's fluctuating around 2-3 tenths. We've actually just seen it spike up to about 7 tenths there. Maybe Schrotter's just made a mistake. He possibly tried to make a move at turn 6. But we'll have to see if he can close it down coming into the last second.
Here we are in the final sector then with Lorenzo Baldassarri. Just 2 corners to go for the Italian. And number 7 has been absolutely imperious here at the Circuito del Jerez, Angel Nieto. The first win of the day went the way of Gabriel Rodrigo, and the second win of the day, if he can make his way through Lorenzo corner for one final time, will go the way of Lorenzo Baldassarri, who won here in real terms in 2019, and he's won at Jerez in virtual terms in 2020. What a performance from Baldassarri. The fist pump to celebrate as well. Jake Dixon, a big smile on his face for taking second place. Ben Schneider, a smile for him as well. No surprise to take him third. And Aaron Canet just gets the better. Oh no, he doesn't. Marcel Schrotter snuck it across the line, did he? We'll have a look at the results on that one there as he come across the line. It looks as though it was Canet that just snuck 6 ahead of Marcel Schrotter. Of course, not forgetting Jorge Martin 5th, Luca Marini.
Where did you finish?
Jorge Navarro taking 8th.
Oh yeah.
Marcos Ramirez in 9th. Coming across the line.
Penalty of 0.4.
Dixon just said he's got a penalty of 0.4. So it's a good job that he didn't allow Ben Schneider to close in any further than he did.
Bro, I was so
Speaking of penalties, look at that. Everybody with a penalty apart from Jorge Martin. Absolute chaos.
Not classificate.
Everybody had a penalty.
I promise you're not penalty riders.
It's amazing.
So, a bit of a moral victory for Jorge Martin there, being the only rider in this Moto 2 class not to pick up a penalty.
Good job.
Giving an applause to Lorenzo Baldassarri. Grande Balda, he wins here in Jerez. Comfortable in the end, 3 seconds clear of Jake Dixon, with both Ben Schneider completing the podium. Let's jump back into our studio then and hear what the riders have got to say for themselves after that Moto 2 race. So there we go then, that is the Moto 2 race done and dusted, and well, it was chaos as we predicted, especially in turns 1 and 2. Do any of you guys know exactly what happened in turn 1? Who was the culprit? Where's the fingers been pointed at?
Hey, somebody come through the screen so fast. I took it steady, slow, through, and somebody was like, boom! I was like, whoa, where did he come?
We need a replay.
We need a, I know, we do. We'll get it. We'll get an action replay very shortly. Who do we think it was? Was it you, Marcel?
Could be, I don't know.
I know it.
Well, the chaos continued pretty much the whole way. I think everyone had a penalty apart from Jorge Martin. Jorge, I don't really know how you pulled it off, but maybe it was just nice, smooth laps, I guess.
You know, I was trying to push because I crashed twice on the first lap. So then I tried to recover, and you know, fastest lap and 5th place.
It's not
I am
bad
happy about it. Last 20 hours I spent it with Jake training, so finally it's not bad.
How does it feel then for Jake to beat you, having been training with him for 20 hours?
Not good.
I just stayed on. That's the only problem. I was so.
Well, only just after that contact with Balda.
I think it's true. Yeah. Better we move on, Jorge. It's a moral victory in itself, being the only man not to get a penalty. 3rd place in the end, going the way of Ben Schneider. Bo, congratulations onto a Moto 2 podium. You just managed to stay out of the way of all the trouble and all the carnage behind you.
Yeah, first podium feels difficult, but it's the podium, you know. So. No, feels good.
And NTS onto the podium as well. Is there going to be a big team party? Obviously, once lockdown has finished, you'll be staying at home tonight, of course. But once you can get back outside, I'm sure you'll be celebrating with the NTS gang.
Yeah, they will be happy for sure.
And another debut podium going to another man as well.
Yep, you'd hardly believe it after saying he only downloaded the game 5 minutes ago. You know, that's not so bad, really. 2nd place. Jake, what you got to say for yourself? How'd you pull that one off?
Well, I just want to thank all my team, sponsors. They've just brought me to the top. I'm so happy. And Balda was holding me up, clearly, and I just let him go in the end because I thought he was too dangerous.
Let him go after you decided that you tried to make the move but couldn't quite.
Yeah.
Congratulations, Jake.
We've heard Balda's version of events where he was nice and tranquilo, nice and calm, and then suddenly someone took him. What's your version of events, Jake, for that big move?
I see Marini crashed into Bowder, or they made contact, and then I outbraked myself massively and just sent it up the inside of him. So, yeah, it was great.
But no problems for you, Lorenzo. You managed to recover from that torpedo from Jake and picked up a second victory in 2 years at Jerez. You must like the circuit.
Yeah, I was lucky not to crash. And then when I was quite relaxed when I was first, because after the contact with Luca, I was scared. And then now I didn't crash, so okay, now relax. And with Jake contact. And the most difficult thing was that I was so nervous and was to control my fingers. Because with the joystick, I cannot control, but
sweaty palms.
It was nice. It was a nice race. Yeah, arm bumps.
Obviously, you won at Jerez in 2019, Lorenzo. How does this virtual victory in Jerez compare?
Yeah, I managed very well. I like this track. Also, last year I won here, but I think this year was even harder race. Was more difficult to get the win.
Well, that's good news. It was harder to win in virtual terms than it is
harder
in real life. There we go. It proves just how competitive
but
these
not
virtual
sweating.
Grand Prix are.
Not sweating. Harder for in my head.
Yeah, you've managed to save the sweat, which is good news. Well, guys, thank you very much indeed. The Moto 2 guys, once again, delivering. We're going to show you the highlights of what just happened. It will have to be shortened down because plenty went on. But don't go anywhere, because in about 30 seconds, a minute's time, we're going to be moving on to the main event, the Moto GP class. 11 Moto GP stars are going to be battling it out for victory in this virtual Red Bull Grand Prix of Spain. We'll see you very shortly. So here are the highlights from the 5-minute qualifying session for the Moto GP class that took place earlier on today. Taking the final spots on the front row of the grid will be our victor from last time out, Pramac Racing's Bagi. Second place on the grid, well, another of the victors, this time in Alex Marquez. He won at Mugello first time around in the first virtual Moto GP race. He put in a lot, good enough for second place. But on pole position for the second time in virtual Moto GP history is Fabio Quartararo, jumping to top spot after getting a toe off Marc Marquez. Maverick Vinales will front row number 2, joined there by Miguel Oliveira in Alex Green, Danilo Petrucci, Lacroix, Maverick Vinales on row 3, and Tito Rabat and Lorenzo Savadori in 10th and 11th. So welcome back to our makeshift studio here in Barcelona. For one final time, it's time for the main event of this virtual Red Bull Grand Prix of Spain. And, well, we know who's going to be on pole position. It's going to be Petronas Yamaha SRT's Fabio Quartararo. Fabio, the second time you've taken a virtual pole position, this time with the slightly different haircut. Let's have a look at it first off. Is the new hairstyle offering you a little bit more pace than what you had previously?
Yeah. I think it's because it's a new game and we still have not a lot of experience, everybody. But yes, I'm feeling good. Let's see if I will not crash 20 times during 30 laps. And we can do something good.
Yeah, that's going to be the big issue for you. In virtual race 1 and 2, I think you crashed more than anybody else in real life, it took you until Catalonia to crash the actual MotoGP bike. But you can't stop crashing on virtual terms. How have you managed to fix that?
I will.
You will. He's fixed it. Okay, we're all sorted, Jack. Second on the grid, Alex Marquez as well. Already a winner.
Already a winner. He's got a pretty good track record in these qualifyings and virtual races we've had so far. Alex, second on the grid. Do you reckon you can maybe rack up another win?
Well, looks like Fabio have something more, or he's really fast, some more hours than us, I think. But anyway, I think I'm pretty ready, and I will try to make a good start. Try to not crash, because we lose a lot of time if we crash, and then we see.
Maybe it's that secret controller. Maybe it's that controller that is the secret to all his speed. Maybe about that.
Yeah, but sometimes the crash don't depend on you, so you need to wait.
Yeah, of course. And third on the grid, we have Pecco. Obviously, Pecco was the winner last time out. What do we reckon he's going to do in the race, Jack?
Yeah, it's a good question. Pecco, you've got lots of confidence, having picked up the victory in Austria a couple of weeks, 3 weeks ago now. How are you feeling coming into the race here at Jerez?
Let's see, because it's a different game. I prefer it, but I need more hours on it. The biggest problem will be the 13 laps, because I think in 13 laps we can do a lot of mistakes. So in this game, if you crash, you lose a lot of time. So it's very important to don't make mistakes. But I think Alex and Fabio have a better pace, and I will try to fight for the podium. But let's see the other guys.
Of course. And fourth on the grid, Maverick. We know that you're pretty quick. Obviously, that last lap battle with Pecco last time. You did crash in the lead, actually, last time as well. Do you reckon maybe if you try to cut out those mistakes, we'll see you take a win?
Well, I will try to start good. The first thing is not to crash any lap. Here is difficult. The new game, I don't know exactly the limits, especially on the brake side. But yeah, I felt quite good. I didn't make a good lap time on qualifying, but I will try to fight for the podium.
Of course, always. Well, we'll see what you can do in the race. Good luck for it, Maverick.
Thank you.
Yeah, a bit of the surprise package, you would probably say. Having been in the first virtual race we had at Mugello, he's now up inside the top 5 is Miguel Oliveira, 2 of the KTM riders that we've got on the grid here for the virtual Red Bull Grand Prix of Spain. Miguel, where did you pull that lap from? Were you expecting to be inside the top 5?
No, but after a few hours during the night, I think it's normal to get some result out of the training. I just ask everyone to be respectful in the first corner, or we can all agree to crash in the first 2 corners, and then we start the race. But let's see how it goes.
I'm not sure about that one. What we've seen from races 1 and 2 is there isn't much rules going into turns 1.
No respect.
No respect whatsoever.
And sixth on the grid this time, we have the second of Alex's in this game, Alex Rins. You're the only Suzuki rider this time. Do you reckon maybe without your teammate trying to hold you back and collide with you, you can try to get further up the order this time?
Well, yeah, I'm back. Last week I missed it, but anyway, happy to be on the new game in 2020. I have a modification compared to the first race I did. I changed the controller to see.
Trying Fabio's tactic.
Exactly. If I'm faster, I don't.
From Malaysia.
That's fun. Let's see.
And of course, Alex, you've also got one other modification, the new Go Faster haircut. Do you reckon maybe some weight savings will help you out?
I did it because I have too much time in home with this COVID-19 to think and to do stupid things. So let's cut the hair.
Yeah, why not? Why not?
Thank you very much, Alex. And obviously, the important reason why we're all here, as you say, Alex, is because of the current COVID-19 crisis around the world. We're hopeful that this Grand Prix of Spain, the virtual version, will bring you a little bit of entertainment, and fingers crossed at the same time, we can raise some money for Two Wheels for Life as well. And Danilo, just how important is it that everybody can try and donate what they can so we can try and put this COVID-19 crisis to bed and we can be at a racetrack as soon as we possibly can do?
Yeah. Hello, everybody. It's really important to stay at home in this period, but like example, Two Wheels for Life, helping the coronavirus not spreading in Africa, and Two Wheels for Life have always been
very, very good for helping Africa, that wonderful continent. And then we'll see. We will race virtual for the moment, but we can still help.
Yeah, fingers crossed that Wi-Fi holds up there for Danilo.
Yeah.
Obviously, we've got all 11
Sorry.
riders and ourselves. No, it's okay. It's okay. When we've got 12 people in a call here, sometimes the Wi-Fi can lag out a little bit, but we got the message across. Thank you, Danilo.
Another one on the grid now. We've got Ika Lekuona lining up in 8th place. Ika, we know you've been prone to a few little crashes in some of these virtual races before. Do you reckon some setup tweaks are maybe going to help you out a little bit?
Yeah, it's true. The first virtual race, I crashed maybe 20 or 25 times in 10 laps, so not so good for me. It's true. I tried this morning the new game. Is very different, but for now I don't crash, so this is a very positive point for me for the pace in the race. So we'll see what happens.
So far, so good, Ika. We'll look forward to seeing you in the race.
Outside of the third row of the grid is the world champion, Marc Marquez. In terms of qualifying, Marc, not exactly gone to plan for you, but obviously there is a greater cause that we've mentioned at play here.
No, I mean, it was exactly what I expected. I mean, on 2019 game, we had 1 year to practice a little bit, but this one is a new game, and yeah, it's not my strongest point, the PlayStation, but as you say before with Danilo, the most important thing here is enjoy it. This is one thing, but then of course, Two Wheels for Life, they are trying to help, like many people that is trying to find different things to help this battle against coronavirus. And yeah, it's really important to keep going and keep helping the people that they need.
Of course. And Tito, you're lining up in 10th place on the grid, which, as we saw last time with Taka Nakagami, isn't exactly a bad thing because turn 1 can be complete chaos. You reckon that maybe if there's a little bit of contact in turn 1, we could see you come through in first or second?
Yes, to be honest, this is the only opportunity that I have, no, because I exit very in back. Then I would try to risk a little bit in turn 1, turn 2 for gain some positions. but like the other riders say, the important here is the coronavirus, find some entertainment, and yeah, at least I try just now the game, just buy the game and put. It's my first.
No.
Yeah.
No.
I need to use it a little bit more because I don't feel so good. Pick up the rear, but during the race I will improve, sure.
How many setups you try?
I don't know. It's the first
lap. Yeah.
not even started the race, and you're already coming up with the excuses, Tito. But I'm sure it'll bring a lot of fun to everybody if we do have a charging Rabat coming through from row 4 of the grid.
Okay, thank you.
No problem. And taking our final place on the grid, it's a huge welcome to Aprilia's brand new test rider, Lorenzo Savadori. Lorenzo, the first time that you've been a part of these virtual races. 11th on the grid, not where you would have wanted to be, but I'm sure you're enjoying just being a part of this great cause. It's a lot of fun.
Yes, hello to everyone. I'm not usually not use the PlayStation, but let's make some fun with my Aprilia and. Maybe I can try to push hard the first 2 or 3 corners because I need to reduce the gap to the other.
Well, I think it's safe to say that Lorenzo Savadori will probably be the latest breaker at turn 1 in the game.
Yes, certainly.
Yeah, I break when Mark starts to break.
Okay, I will break when the first guy starts to break.
Okay, perfect. Don't worry in the front. Don't worry.
So I think it's pretty much certain then that turns 1 and possibly 2 as well are going to be fairly hectic here at the main event of the virtual Grand Prix of Spain. It's time for the Moto GP race. 13 laps for these guys. And if virtual races 1 and 2 are anything to go by, strap yourselves in, grab the popcorn, because the first lap is always quite interesting. So over to you guys. Best of luck.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good luck, guys.
Thank you.
Para las gomas no tenemos que salvar nada, ¿no?
¿Cómo?
Y lo de la Power 2, 1, 0.
Al 0 mejor.
Il campo sta a posto, vero? Sono caricati?
Hay que carrera.
Here we go, one time for the Moto GP race. The last time myself and Jack have made our way into the bedroom for a little bit of commentary duty into our makeshift commentary box. And already they're trying to wind up Fabio Quartararo. He's asking whether he should put the power. It's a new feature for the Moto GP 20 game. In terms of fuel consumption, we should have it on 0, 1 or 2. And Alex Rins telling him to put it on 0. Let's see if he has put it on 0. Because if he has, he won't make a lightning start on pole position. And he may well have done, because he's gone backwards off pole position. Alex Marquez, our race winner for last time out, has made the best start. And that's Danilo Petrucci straight into back of someone. Maverick Vinales has gone down there as well. Now Marquez onto the grass. Well, we said it was going to be carnage, and that's exactly what it is.
How is someone all the way on the inside of the grass there in turn? I don't even know how that's happened.
Lorenzo Savadori, another one of the fallers there. He was up to 4th at one point with the Aprilia test rider, but has eventually gone down. Has now got Maverick Vinales, the company who barges his way through. He's a podium finisher in virtual races 1 and 2, and he means business after that crash on the opening lap of the opening corner. The Monster Energy Yamaha man is looking to close in on the podium finishers and hopefully, finally, take his first win in virtual terms.
Let's just take a look at who's in 4th place there. It is, of course, the reigning world champion Marc Marquez. He's already come through from 9th on the grid. So pretty much a world champion start from Marc there. Let's see if he can catch up with these top 3, as it looks like they're just starting to break away.
It's the tech twat of Ike Lecuona, who's a surprise package so far. It was his teammate Miguel Oliveira that stunned everybody by qualifying in 5th place, but Lecuona's come through from nowhere on the grid to take 3rd. Meanwhile, there's Alex Marquez that's gone down. He's come together with Pecco Bagnaia. Goodness gracious me. I thought his brother was just about to clip his bike on the way through there. Luckily, he just managed to avoid it, but Alex Marquez has gone down, and it's allowed Pecco Bagnaia to escape at the front. We've already seen him take victory last time out on the final lap. He was pretty close to taking the victory in Mugello as well. He's now got a comfortable lead with everybody else behind him, or at least the main contenders having crashed out.
It's Petrucci with a really slow run onto the straight. It's just Maverick's absolutely blown by him there. So Maverick now up into 5th place. As it looks like Fabio Quartararo has just gone through on Marc Marquez, that is. Yes, it is.
I think Vinales there was just saying that he keeps seeing Danilo Petrucci appear and disappear. Not sure why. I think it's because his internet connection can't be too good. We already saw him, as we said in the press conference, with some fairly dodgy Wi-Fi. Yeah, I've just been told that it's Petrucci. He's off a hotspot. He's got his mobile hotspot going, so that's why he's dipping in and out. 4G clearly not hanging on.
Obviously not the best connection for him there. We'll have to see if it maybe even pay in his favour as he can start barging some people out of the way and just blame it on his 4G connection.
Here we go, then back at the front. Lecuona up to 2nd place now. What a run this is from the MotoGP rookie. He's got a former MotoGP rookie behind him in Fabio Quartararo, and then Marc Marquez, the world champion as well. Both of them starting to close in on the KTM. What a super start for Lecuona. Up to 2nd place already on lap number 2.
Now this is pretty good positioning for Fabio here. We know he's really fast. In all of these virtual races that have gone before, we've seen him be one of the quickest guys on the grid. But often, oh my lord, Lecuona's gone absolutely flying. How many barrel rolls is that? About 40 of them.
Certainly winning an Olympic gold medal, that. What a couple of pirouettes that was.
And it looked like Fabio Quartararo was also down with him, so I wonder if those two came together. Of course, Quartararo was chasing him down for that 2nd position.
Simone Biles would be happy with a spin like that from Ike Lecuona. That was superb stuff. Although I'm pretty sure he won't be best pleased with the fact that he got 10 out of 10 for style. I'm sure he'd have preferred to stay in the podium hunt. As you said, he took Fabio Quartararo with him, or possibly vice versa. I don't want to be pointing any fingers at who the culprit was.
No, we didn't see it. Oh, we didn't see that one though, and that was Lecuona down again. I think he made contact with Lorenzo Savadori there.
And possibly Tito Rabat as well, the pair of them coming together. Slipped back to 10th now as Lecuona, so in the blink of an eye, Ike Lecuona has gone from looking at a debut MotoGP podium in 2nd place. He's now down to 10th. Here's Danilo Petrucci, and the Wi-Fi still holding on at the moment in 5th. Here's Alex Marquez as well, 4th at the moment. For our race winner, first time out at Mugello. He's got Maverick Vinales ahead of him, and then Marc Marquez as well. Remember, the world champion started from 9th on the grid, getting a little bit excited there when I saw Pecco Bagnaia just touch the gravel on the outside of the curbs just about held on there.
Terobati today not going too well. Just saw him pop up there for another crash. He's obviously still down in 10th place, I believe he is. Yes, he is.
And here's the man that qualified 5th on the grid, Miguel Oliveira, is in the back of the picture. Fabio Quartararo starting to make inroads once again, this time past Lorenzo Savadori. Next ahead of him is the KTM Tech Twat of Miguel Oliveira in 6th place. But this is a battle that we want to focus on. This is a proper heavyweight scrap. Marc Marquez on the factory Honda with Maverick Vinales on the factory Yamaha behind him. And then behind him, his younger brother, also on a factory Honda, Alex Marquez. The three of them all go into battle there. And there goes Fabio Quartararo. Well, he's no other way of saying it, completely and utterly taken out Miguel Oliveira there. And somehow, whilst we're focusing on that, Marc Marquez has gone from 2nd to 4th. Both Alex Marquez and Maverick Vinales have got the better of him. That trio was completely swapped around. It was 2nd Marc Marquez, 3rd Maverick Vinales, 4th Alex Marquez. It's now the complete opposite with Alex Marquez up to 2nd and Marc Marquez down to 4th.
Alex Marquez, now obviously it's good for him that he's moved into 2nd, but he does need to be careful. We heard him just a minute ago, he said how good the Yamaha was on the brakes. And Maverick Vinales, well, we know he's pretty tenacious, so he'll be looking for a way past and any opportunity that he gets given.
Here we are then, on board with Marc Marquez, that we were for just a split second. He's now back to watching all three of these guys in the same camera shot. You can see all three of them on the right-hand side as well, or you did for a split second. Total concentration from Alex Marquez as he leads this fight at the moment for 2nd place. You can see him leading to the right as he was going through the right-handers and then flicking back to the left-hand side, the head going with him, as was the constructor as well. Total concentration mode from the Moto2 World Champion. Back at the front, Pecco Bagnaia comfortably ahead. Over 6 seconds clear now is the Catty man, looking for win number 2 of his virtual MotoGP career.
Now just take a look at the bottom right hand of your screen there. You can see the tyre temperatures. There's something extra in the MotoGP 20 game. You can see each side of the tyre. Now we see obviously there, Mark's tyre was getting really hot, so obviously he must have gone with a soft. And being on lap 5, it's not the position he really wants to be in with his tyres already.
Activated as Fabio Quartararo goes down once again. I think this time that was possibly Miguel Oliveira just getting his own back for what happened earlier. There's another crash for Eagle. Won't he can see his bike and gravel to the right hand side. Enjoying quite sadistically actually, taking great pleasure out of the fact that Iker Lecuona has crashed out and he's getting a little bit frustrated with himself. That's Tito Rabat, unfortunately, the back of the pack at the moment is the Reale Avintia rider. We'll have to speak to him after the race, actually, because before we went live with this, Tito Rabat was just moaning at myself for not speaking to him, not interviewing him last time at the virtual race. I said, Tito, unfortunately, nothing of real interest happened to you. You finished outside of the top 5. He said if you get involved in the action, we'll come and have a chat with you, but we'll take him by surprise and ask him a question this time to keep him happy, because he wasn't best pleased. He was ready and waiting to answer the questions, but unfortunately we didn't come to him in the press conference last time.
Now Pecco, he's been pretty imperious out front so far. Obviously Maverick and Alex Marquez are chasing up behind him, see if they can close him down. But I've got to say, Pecco is looking pretty comfortable. I'm not too sure if anyone's going to chase him, but let's not forget, if he does make one single mistake, that gap will be gone.
Talking of mistakes, another one for Fabio Quartararo. Well, we said to him before the race, Jack, have you sorted the problem of crashing? And he was straight to the point, he said, yeah, sorted it. Clearly he hasn't. He's still struggling to keep it upright in virtual turns. And then again, just looking at what you mentioned, Jack, as well, look to the right hand side of your screen. You can see the rear tyre there for Maverick Vinales. It's totally red. That means it has overheated far too much, and he will be struggling for rear grip at the moment.
Yeah, you've got to say that one is properly cooked there, well overdone.
Unfortunately, with over half race distance remaining as well, of course, remember 13 laps for the MotoGP ride instead of 8 that we saw for Moto3 and Moto2. He's got a long way to go to try and manage that rear tyre and get something out of it. Meanwhile, here comes Fabio Quartararo trying to fight his way back through the pack, up the inside of Iker Lecuona. The pair of them come together and Quartararo crashes out once again. Goodness gracious me, what is happening for the Frenchman? He's an absolute sensation on 2 wheels in real life from his his first rookie year, but unfortunately it looks as though he just hasn't got the hang of it in virtual terms just yet. 2 pole positions to his name, but he can't stop crashing in the races.
Yeah, it's not really what you want, Jack. I think his head is a little bit gone at the minute, so he needs to just calm down and regroup.
Back at the front though, talking of being calm and hitting the markers and staying extremely focused, as you can see to the left-hand side of your picture there.
Oh, so focused, I don't think he even said a word.
There goes Marc Marquez, he's crashed out. Whilst we were looking at Pecco Bagnaia, it looks as though Maverick had made a mistake. I'm not sure if he crashed out, but he certainly ran wide somewhere, because it allowed Marc Marquez back up to 3rd place, but only momentarily, because the world champions crashed out, and he's now dropped back down to 4th place. What that has allowed is Alex Marquez to escape. Last time we were on board with Maverick, he was right on the rear wheel of Alex Marquez, with a pair of them pushing each other for 2nd place, but he's now got a 3-second advantage as Alex Marquez.
Here's Lorenzo Savadori. Of course, this is the first time Lorenzo has joined us, and he's looking to get past this one of the Tech 3 Racing riders. I think that's Ike Lecuona. Yes, it is. We'll see if he can make his way up through on the sole Aprilia out there on the field.
Oh, sideways, once and twice is Lorenzo Savadori through turn 5. Putting up a fairly strong effort so far. Experience with, especially with this new Moto GP20 game, is absolutely everything. As you can see, we've got the same top 3 as we've had during the opening 2 races. Those guys that just click with the console have been able to continue the pace regardless of the game, regardless of the circuit as well. So for Savadori to come in and be, well, ahead of Fabio Quartararo and Tito Rabat so far, be challenging ahead of Ike Lecuona, who both have virtual GP experience. That's a good effort so far from Savadori. Back with Marc Marquez, the world champion, now wide into Lorenzo corner. He'll get it cut off and down the start-finish straight, as we complete lap number 8. His brother Alex Marquez still comfortable in 2nd place at the moment. Pecco Bagnaia must have made a small mistake though, because that gap has been cut.
It's just everyone laughing at him there.
He takes great joy from other people crashing, doesn't he?
He certainly does. Yeah.
Winding Fabio up with the alley. Unfortunately, he's not going to plan for Quartararo so far, and that was pure frustration.
Yeah, completely, Jack. I think what we're seeing there is just a good old case of video game rage.
I think if he could rage quit, he probably would.
He probably would, yeah, I've got to say.
But he's going to carry on in 10th at the moment. Here we are with the leader then, Pecco Bagnaia, still clear of Alex Marquez. As we were saying before Quartararo went down, that advantage has been cut in half pretty much. It was 6 seconds at one point with Pecco Bagnaia, as you'll be able to see now. Whoa, what on earth is going on there? I think that's
that connection.
Yeah, the hot spot for Dino Petrucci is just lagging a little bit, I think. He's jumping from side to side, from left to right. And he's just about holding on his Petrucci at the moment there in 5th place, despite his connection problems. Hopefully we don't have another Dennis Foggia on our hands.
Hopefully not. It's a pretty good thing that Petrucci's a fairly big and strong guy, because it looks like he's having to wrestle that thing pretty hard.
Ooh. Alex Marquez into turn number 1. Meanwhile behind him, this man that we're on board with now, Maverick Vinales, just set the fastest lap of the race. He's got 6 seconds to overcome if he wants to get up to leader Pecco Bagnaia. He's got 4.5 seconds to overcome if he wants to get up to 2nd place and ahead of Alex Marquez. So the lap's starting to run out. He's just running out of time, is Maverick Vinales here. And it looks as though at the moment, despite that fastest lap, he's going to have to settle for another podium place. The prize made once again, it could well be for Maverick Vinales. Can this man come up with something? Alex Marquez, he's cut the advantage down to half, but he's not been able to make any inroads since then. He's just been fluctuating at around 2.5 seconds as Bagnaia, whatever mistake he made, has been able to refocus and reconcentrate and begin to make progress at the front of the race.
Now, Lorenzo Savadori has to be a little bit aware here. He's got a flying Frenchman coming through from behind him. Fabio Quartararo, we know he's seen that he's made a little bit of contact with a couple of riders as he's tried to go through on them. So we'll see if Savadori can try and remain on 2 wheels.
Another feature for Moto GP20, you can see, well, one of them is right there as we saw in Moto 2, the rear wheel popping up in the air. And he's also got a little bit of damage on the right-hand side of that Petronas SRT machine. You can see there the scuffs from the multiple crashes that he's had. Now damage is included in Moto GP20. It's been perfectly highlighted there. Pecco Bagnaia across the line then, lap 10 completed. Still 2.5 seconds clear, probably a little bit more now actually. Yeah, up to 3 seconds for just a split second, sorry, ahead of Alex Marquez, who himself is fairly comfortable in second. Ahead of Maverick Vinales. Well, he was comfortable in second place, but Alex Marquez has gone down. Your race one winner at Mugello has crashed out, and that's allowed Pecco Bagnaia to escape even further clear at the front of this race. It looks like at the moment, with just a handful of laps remaining, it's going to be another victory for the Italian. He's going to go back-to-back, winning at the Red Bull Ring, and now here at Jerez. He can't be making a mistake though, Jack.
No, he cannot. That is a crucial thing that he really cannot afford to do right now. He may well have a big lead, but Maverick Vinales is putting in similar lap times to him, just as quick, and he cannot afford to make that mistake.
Mistake that Alex Marquez made, coincidentally, has cost him second place. Vinales now ahead of him into second. Here's Cuona. Was up to second place at one point, had an absolutely lightning start with the Tech 2 KTM man, now down in 8th place. Pecco Bagnaia yet to make any mistakes now. Can he keep it on 2 wheels? He's just got a couple of corners left here in Jerez before he starts lap number 11, and he's gone down! Bagnaia's out of it, he's crashed out to the lead. 6 seconds was his advantage. Can Vinales take advantage of his mistake? There he goes! Vinales hits the front of this race with just a handful of laps remaining. Well, who would have thought it? Just half a lap ago, Vinales was down in 3rd place, and then Alex Marquez crashes out, so he takes second, and now Bagnaia crashes out, so he hits the front. We were calling him a bridesmaid just minutes ago. It looks as though finally Maverick Vinales is going to take victory in a virtual race, but he's got a handful of laps to hold on, and I'm sure he, more than anybody else, will be aware of the consequences that a crash will cause.
And to make things worse for the guys behind Maverick now, we do know that he was absolutely lightning fast late in the race. So if any chance of catching it looks like it's going to be almost impossible. The one thing that we thought was a dead cert in this race, the Pecco Bagnaia victory, has gone right out the window.
Marc Marquez just asking then who's in 1st place, and Vinales very happy to chirp up and say, it's me. He's up to 1st at the moment, having taken advantage of a couple of crashes ahead of him. Meanwhile, further down the field, Cuona and Fabio Quartararo coming together once again. We've seen these two battle it out once already, but this time a clean move from Fabio Quartararo. Both of them stayed upright, which is good to see. That's what we want. And he already starting to break clear of the Cuona as well.
I don't know if you heard that one there, asking Danilo Petrucci where he was on the circuit. Danilo replied pretty quickly that it was at turn 6. I wonder if we're going to see these two just deliberately close up and have a little final few lap battle.
Chirping away here. Yeah, Marc Marquez just saying, let's do it. 2 laps remaining. He's going to wait for him, I think. Oh, well. There he is, he's slowing up, he's slowing up. So in the battle for 4th place, he's slowed up, so Marc Marquez just offering a little bit of entertainment to the fans. It's a DIY battle, he's slowed up to allow Petrucci and Marquez to go to war with just 2 laps remaining. Only problem is, you can still see Petrucci's Wi-Fi is hot, so it's lagging so much.
Yeah, Mark might live to regret this decision as Petrucci starts jumping about all over the place on the track.
Well, he slowed up for a split second, but in true Marc Marquez, in true world champion style, having given him a sniff, he's then put the hammer down and pulled clear of Petrucci again. He's just playing games with him, cat and mouse here at Jerez with Marquez, just trying to lure Petrucci into a battle here.
Now, one thing that Petrucci might enjoy in this scenario, if you remember back to the second virtual race in Austria, Petrucci was the hunted in this scenario, with Valentino Rossi closing him down all the way to the final corner where he made that ridiculous lunge. So maybe Danilo will just enjoy the scenario as being flipped on its head this time as he hunts down Marc Marquez.
We can see the hunting taking place as we look off the rear wheel of Marc Marquez here, and the Ducati comes into sight. He's getting closer and closer with 1.5 laps remaining. It's not for a podium place, this is for 4th place, but surely he's going to provide some good entertainment on the final lap. Big smile on the face of Marc Marquez there.
Big smile around and see Danilo close, waiting on him. Touching them both back down. I don't know if Mark stayed up on his 2 wheels there, didn't he?
I think he's got away with it. He's got away with it somehow with Marc Marquez, but that's that then. That battle has certainly come to an end with Marc Marquez coming out on top. Look, continue to talk to each other as well. Marc Marquez and Danilo Petrucci with Miguel Oliveira crashing out. You can see the frustration on the top rider. Marc Marquez just asking, are you in fifth place? Patrick says, no, it's Alex Rins now. And it looks as though we've had a couple of teammates come together. Both Lecuona and Oliveira are not particularly happy. Well, Lecuona wasn't happy, Oliveira was in hysterics.
Well, I think if Hervé Contreras was watching this at home, I think it would just be sinking back into his sofa right now after watching that.
On to the last lap then, just one final circuit of Jerez to finish off this incredible Red Bull Virtual Grand Prix of Spain. And of course, remember, doing all of this for 2 Wheels for Life. You can go to www.twowheelsforlife.org to please donate whatever you can as we continue to fight COVID-19 and other dangerous diseases. I'm sure you'll agree that these guys have put on a show for you. Maverick Viñales, the man who looks like taking finally a race win on virtual terms. Marc Marquez echoing our sentiments there, reminding you all that the place to go to donate whatever you can is of course twowheelsforlife.org. Hopefully we've put on a show for you guys here at Jerez with Maverick Viñales taking the win. He finished third in Mugello, second in Austria, but finally he's on the top step of the podium in the factory Yamaha man. Ahead of Alex Marquez and Pecco Bagnaia. The previous race winners will have to settle for second and third today. Here's the world champion Marc Marquez. Comes across the line in 4th place once again, just missing out on the podium. Alex Rins eventually battling his way back through to 5th, ahead of Danilo Petrucci in 6th place, whose internet has clearly and thankfully been able to see out all 13 laps. Miguel Oliveira in 7th as Tito Rabat's clearly just had a crash on the final lap. Fabio Quartararo in 8th, and Lecuona and Lorenzo Savadori. What a race these guys have put on.
La curva che perdi più tempo.
Io?
Sì, quando cadi, dico.
Ah, sì, perché?
Non so perché.
Porque la moto va pam, 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 pam.
Sì.
Guarda
Alex Marquez and Maverick Viñales and Pecco Bagnaia all talking to each other there. Just talking to Pecco. Alex was just explaining that the place that he went down was the most costly place to go down. Cost you so much time because of the speed that they were picking up through that fast right-hander. The bike just continued to barrel roll.
Io intentavo di fare per play, no.
Marc Marquez and Danilo Petrucci continuing to talk with each other as well. Marc saying that he didn't receive a penalty, as you can see there, so he was trying to play fair. Danilo had something else to say about that. So those are the final results then. What an incredible show these guys have put on. Let's jump back into our studio to hear what they've got to say for themselves. Okay, so guys, we'll cut in there if we can. Apologies to just cut you off, but obviously we need to try and debrief with as many of you as possible after what just happened in our 3rd virtual race. That, of course, the virtual Grand Prix, virtual Red Bull Grand Prix of Spain, and it means we've got a 3rd different winner. Alex Marquez taking the 1st one, Pecco Bagnaia the 2nd one, and now Maverick Viñales wins the 3rd one. But there's only one place to start, as always, as we've become accustomed to now. The opening corner was complete carnage, and I think, I don't want to point any fingers, but Tito, were you the cause of that race?
Yeah, thank you very much.
You ask it, Tito, before the race.
The race? Que me pregunta por la carrera, ¿no? ¿Cómo ha ido?
We think that you were the cause of that first corner crash on the first lap. Was that the case?
Yes, is that the case? I try everything in the first corner, but not possible. I go already 4th or 3, already for the podium. But the problem is front close and bad luck. But after I try, but no, not possible. Really tired.
Oh well, at least you tried. Tito was telling us before we even started that we didn't interview him last time, so we've gone straight to him this time to make sure that he's happy. There we go. Tito Rabat, we've got his interview sorted.
And from one corner of chaos to another, Fabio and Ika, we saw a few little screams and shouts there from you two. Was there a little coming together between you two on lap 2 there and maybe a few others?
I'm retiring from e-game.
Is that maybe because there was a few crashes there?
I make on average 1 crash per lap. So at least I make the fastest lap, but that's the only thing.
But, Fabio, don't worry. My first e-game is the same. In every lap I crash 1 time, so don't worry.
In my third e-game, I think I have 30 crash in 3 races. So yes, not feeling so good.
Maybe the form's just going downhill slightly, Fabio.
Plenty of room for improvement. One of the big battles as well. Well, it was almost a self-made battle, a DIY battle between Marc Marquez and Danilo Petrucci. Because Mark, you just waited up for Danilo to have a little fight on the final 2 laps. What happened there?
Yeah, I mean, I was using a little bit experience. I mean, I know that I'm not the fastest, so I say I will stay on the line and no crash. But anyway, like this, the last 5 laps were boring. I mean, and Danilo was just behind me 3-4 seconds. And then I with him, we had a nice battle, but unfortunately here in the game it's so difficult to understand, and he touched me and he crashed. But anyway, yeah, the most important thing is that one more time we enjoyed. We hope that the coronavirus, the fight against coronavirus, 2 Wheels for Life can help a lot, and this is the most important. So just congrats the guys that finished in front of me.
Which weren't that many. Again, podium finishes, it looks very similar to the podiums that we've had in the past few races. 3rd place this time, going the way of Pecco Bagnaia. You've got the full set now, Pecco, 2nd place, 1st place, and now a 3rd place finish as well. It looked like you were going to win the race before that little crash with a few laps to go.
Like I said before, the race is very important, not to win, but I made it. So I was first with Maverick, with Alex recovering the gap, but he crashed. And when he crashed, I started making more mistakes. I don't know why. In the turn 12, turn 13, I don't remember. So I lose a lot of time. But anyway, it was a great race. Less battle than the last one, but has been good, funny.
Well done, Pecco. Congratulations. Whose dog is that barking, by the way? It seems like we've got...
I think it might be Tito's.
Tito, is your dog barking again?
No, it's mine. Sorry.
Okay, no problem.
Apologies, Tito, for accusing you
because
there.
it's raining. It's raining outside, and I have to keep it in the house. But the problem is that he's blind, no hearing. So
fair enough. No problem.
White dog.
And on to another man that has a medal of each podium placed on the rostrum. Alex Marquez, 2nd place this time. It seems that you were just closing in on Pecco there, where you made a little mistake and had a crash. Maybe it could have been the race that you got your 2nd victory, but I'm sure you're not too displeased anyway.
No, just happy, you know. In the end, is to have a good time here with all the college, and also the people that are home trying to make some entertainment to them. So it's good to be here. We have a good fight. First lap with Pecco, then I crashed. We touched and I crashed. I don't know why, but I crashed. And then I was recovering and I did another mistake trying to catch Pecco, and I crashed again. So 2nd place with 2 crashes. I think Pecco crashed 1 time, Viñales also 2. So many crashes in this race. It seems like first time, you know, in this game, all the riders. So we did more mistakes, but we have fun, and this is the most important thing.
Yeah, perfect.
Thank you very much, Alex. And of course, the one man that we need to speak to is our race winner, the 3rd different winner in 2020 so far in MotoGP, Maverick Viñales. Many congratulations. How does it feel to be a MotoGP race winner in 2020?
Honestly, the race started so bad because I crashed in the first corner, and then I crashed again when I was trying to follow Alex. I was pushing too much, so I go out of the track and I crashed. Then I concentrate a little bit. I pull 2 or 3 fast laps, but I didn't expect that they make a mistake. So I take profit, and finally a victory is always good. I enjoy. I hope everyone at home and also the other riders enjoy the race. And also, you know, we do that for a charity. So very happy we can make a good amount of money for Africa and for 2 Wheels for Life.
Yeah, fingers crossed. And we saw you last time on social media when you finished on the podium, Maverick. You went and got one of your podium trophies. Have you got either the one from Assen or the one from Malaysia last year that you can pose with this time?
I think I will post the one of Malaysia because it's nicer, bigger. But yeah, we will see. But very, very happy, and I enjoy so much this time.
Well, we'll send you the Spanish Grand Prix first place
Thank
trophy
you.
in the post. Hopefully it'll land in Andorra very shortly. Well, guys, thank you very much. Thank you very much for joining us, obviously from the Moto 3 guys to the Moto 2 and to you guys at Moto GP as well. Fingers crossed we put on a great show for everybody at home to enjoy. It should have been the weekend of the Spanish Grand Prix, the Red Bull Spanish Grand Prix. Unfortunately, we could only bring you it in virtual terms, but hopefully you enjoyed it. And of course, the most important thing as well is that everybody, if possible, can go to twowheelsforlife.org and donate what you can, because quite simply, motorcycles save lives. We can help battle against COVID-19 and other dangerous diseases across Africa through the help of Two Wheels for Life. Thank you very much for joining us. And of course, don't forget, we'll be joining the Moto 3 winner, the Moto 2 winner, and Maverick Viñales on Instagram Live on MotoGP social channels in a couple of minutes' time. So you can head over to Instagram and join us there. We'll leave you with the race highlights of the MotoGP race. Thank you very much for joining us, guys. We'll see you soon.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Ciao, ciao.
Bye.
Bye.